Welcome back everyone. Uh, we are going to study about infrared today. IR, which we call it as, or infrared communication is a common, inexpensive and easy to use wireless communication technology. IR light is very similar to visible light, except that it has a slightly longer wavelength. This means IR is undetectable to the human eye. Perfect for wireless communication. For example, when you hit a button on your TV remote, an IR LED repeatedly turns on and off. The typical communication range for IRDA lies in the range of 10 cm to 1 meter. The range can be increased by increasing the transmitting power of IR device. IR supports data rates ranging from 9600 bits per second to 16 Mbps. Depending on the speed of data transmission, IR is classified into serial IR, medium IR, fast IR, very fast IR, and ultra fast IR. If you see the table in the side, you can see the transmission rate of these IRs. So now let's jump into Bluetooth. A Bluetooth technology is high speed, low powered wireless technology link that is designed to connect phones or other portable equipments together. It is specification IEEE 802.15.1 for the use of low power radio communication to link phones, computers, and other network devices over short distance without wires. Wireless signals transmitted with Bluetooth cover short distances, typically up to 30 feet. Bluetooth operates at 2.4 GHz of radio frequency spectrum and uses the frequency hopping spread spectrum technique for communication. Bluetooth can connect up to 8 devices simultaneously, and each device offers a unique 48-bit address from IEEE 802 standards, with the connections being made point to point or multi point. Bluetooth supports point to point and point to multi point wireless communication. The point to point communication follows master slave relationship. A Bluetooth device can function as either a master or slave. When a network is formed with one Bluetooth device as a master and more than one device as slaves, it is called a piconet. A piconet supports a maximum of 7 slave devices. So let's see the applications of Bluetooth. Bluetooth is the favorite choice for short range data communication in handheld embedded devices. Bluetooth technology is very popular among cell phones users as they are easiest communication channel for transferring ringtones, music files, pictures, media files, etc. between neighboring Bluetooth enabled devices. So once we completed Bluetooth, now let's look into wireless fidelity. That is nothing but Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi or wireless fidelity is popular wireless communication technique for network communication of devices. Wi-Fi follows the IEEE 802.11 standard. Wi-Fi based communications require an intermediate agent called Wi-Fi router or wireless access point to manage communications. The Wi-Fi router is responsible for restricting the access to network, assigning IP address to devices on the network, routing data packets to internet devices on the network. Wi-Fi enabled devices contain a wireless adapter for transmitting and receiving data in the form of radio signals through an antenna. The hardware part of it is known as Wi-Fi radio. Wi-Fi operates at 2.4 GHz or 5 GHz of radio spectrum. Wi-Fi supports data rates ranging from 1 Mbps to 150 Mbps and offers a range of 100 to 300 bits. Now let's see into Zigbee. It might be a newer concept for you. It would be very helpful for you guys if you concentrate here. Zigbee is a low power, low cost wireless network communication protocol based on IEEE 802.15.4 2006 standard. Zigbee is targeted for low power, low data rate and secure applications for wireless personal area network. This communication system is less expensive and simpler than the other proprietary short range wireless sensor networks as Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Zigbee operates worldwide at unlicensed bands of radio spectrum, mainly 2.400 to 2.484 GHz, 902 to 928 MHz, and 868.0 to 868.6 MHz. Zigbee supports an operating distance up to 100 meters and a data rate of 20 to 250 kbps. In the Zigbee terminology, each Zigbee device falls under any one of the following categories: ZigBee coordinator, ZigBee router, ZigBee end device. So let's see what a ZigBee coordinator is. ZigBee coordinator acts as a root of the ZigBee network. The ZigBee coordinator is responsible for initiating the ZigBee network, and it has capability to store information about the network. ZigBee router is responsible for passing information from devices to another device or to another ZigBee coordinator. ZigBee end device or reduced function device (RFD) is end device containing ZigBee functionality for data communication. It can talk only with a ZR or ZC and doesn't have a capability to act as a mediator for transferring data from one device to another. Let's see the applications. ZigBee is primarily targeting application areas like home and industrial automation, energy management, home control or security, medical or patient tracking, logistics and asset tracking, and sensor networks and active RFID, automatic meter reading, smoke detectors, wireless telemetry, HVAC control, heating control, lighting control, environmental control, etc. are examples for applications which can make use of ZigBee technology. So let's jump into GPRS now. GPRS stands for General Packet Radio Service. General Packet Radio Service is a communication technique for transferring data over a mobile communication network like GSM. Data is sent as packets in GPRS communication. The transmitting device splits the data into several related packets. At the receiving end, the data is reconstructed by combining the received data packets. GPRS supports a theoretical maximum transfer rate of 171.2 kbps. In GPRS communication, the radio channel is concurrently shared between several users instead of dedicating a radio channel to a cell phone user. The GPRS communication divides the channel into 8 time slots and transmits data over the available channel. GPRS supports Internet Protocol, point-to-point protocol, and cross 2.5 protocol for communication. GPRS is mainly used by mobile-enabled embedded devices for data communication. The device should support the necessary GPRS hardware like GPRS modem and GPRS radio. To accomplish GPRS-based communication, the carrier network also should have support for GPRS communication. GPRS is an old technology and it is being replaced by new generation data communication techniques like EDGE, high-speed download link packet access, HSDPA, etc., which offers high bandwidth for communication. The diagram shows the working of general packet radio services. Now let's look into embedded firmware. What's an embedded firmware? Embedded firmware is a programmable content for different digital devices of hardware, namely mobile phones, remote control, medical equipment, which provides instruction for devices and help them to operate smoothly. Embedded firmware refers to the control algorithm and or configuration settings that an embedded system developer dumps into the code memory of the embedded system. Now let's look into onboard communication interface.